YouTube, what to do? Today we got a more scarier story time than normal. Well, I wouldn't even say scary. Well, it's just scary that it happened. But yeah, so if you mad young, like viewer discretion is advised, and I hope you guys do enjoy the story. This is about the time I lived in Yonkers. When I first moved into the Yonkers, I was coming out from the Bronx. As you guys should know by now, I used to live in Fordham Road, and my mom wanted to just get us out of the city. She just wanted us to be in a more peaceful environment, a more calm lifestyle, and she thought Yonkers was that opportunity. Now, at the time, I'm mad young. I didn't want to leave. Number one reason was because I was feeling this girl like crazy at the time, and she was fine as hell, but I'm mad shy, so that wasn't gonna go down, and it didn't, so I ended up leaving anyway, and I didn't want to leave. I just enjoyed being in the city. And I just hated the fact that I had to be away from my family, that I had to be away from a lot of people I knew. Now, when I first thought of Yonkers, I was like, man, this is upstate New York. How far am I really going to be from the people I know from, New York City and whatnot? And what's it going to look like? How is it going to feel? What kind of schools am I going to be able to go to? Because, Yonkers, at least when I envision it, it's a very old, like, type of city. It's a very old area, like, I'm talking about like George Washington style type of old. That's how I picture it in my head. So yeah, so I wasn't too far from the Bronx after all. Like I was a little bit past the cuff of Van Cortlandt Park, and so like if you go a little bit up past Van Cortlandt and turn the corner, and turn like two more corners, you was at where I lived. I moved to Saratoga Avenue in Yonkers, and part of the area was very nice, and the other part was very ghetto, like very poor looking as well. So now I think I knew that I was getting into trouble one day when I was coming home from school. Well, the first sign of trouble was the fact that someone lit a big building in the area on fire. And then the second sign of trouble was in my neighborhood they had this huge hill. And then we just saw the Chinese man delivering food running down the hill with blood coming down his nose. It was really a bad area to live in, and my mom wanted to do good by us, and I appreciate the fact that she tried to do that, but she ended up making a mistake because we ended up in some crazy ass shit. Now to get back to the Chinese food story, we're coming home from school, we're going up that big hill. It was a really big hill, mad big for no reason, man. But yeah, we're coming up that hill. We see him running, blood gushing down his face. Apparently, he just tried to get the money that was owed for the Chinese food, and the guy just punched him through the car window or something like that, to that effect. And it was like unnecessary. It was ridiculous, and people don't need to get punched in the face for doing their jobs. Unless the Chinese man did something to piss somebody off, then I understand, but still, it's not good. Now the worst is yet to come. Couple days, couple weeks after that, it's around nighttime, maybe around 1 to 12 a.m., around that time. And all I see is like these big lights in my windows. Like there's a bunch of those lights. Like I never seen those type of lights before. And it turns out that there was a big shooting and big fight right in front of my crib. And this was really like upsetting and crazy to the whole neighborhood, because apparently a lot of people were like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, stop, stop. A lot of people saw this kid getting hurt. From my memory, it's a little shaky. I can't remember if I heard any of the fighting or gunshots that went off, because the kid got murdered right in front of my building, and he was shot like 3 times and stabbed 21 times, and it's very unfortunate and it's very sad that it had to happen, and it's very eerie and creepy that it happened right in front of my house too. Like you look out my window, you see his blood all over the my my apartment had like a driveway, and it was in front of it. So you see all those, you find out that it's a big investigation going on, and he lived through it. I don't understand how like that's possible, but he managed to live through it, and unfortunately he did pass away. But right after that, we already had our sights ready to move out of Yonkers, because it was crazy. You don't want to live around all that. You don't want to live around all that like craziness and maniacs and freaking people killing each other for whatever reason. So the next morning, you see the family across the street with the moving van. They was out, like luckily I looked up the people who did it, and I found out that they did catch the guys that murdered the kid, and they did catch everybody involved. So thankfully, they got the guy got justice for the people who killed him. Now that's my story time. Um, as I said before, it's a little graphic. During the video, you guys heard me sniffing. I wasn't crying. I just have the sniffles, and it's mad late. I'm a little tired. But yeah, if you want to hear more story times, just give me a like or subscribe. And I hope you guys enjoy the content. And I hope you guys continue to watch. Have a blessed day.